What up, everybody? Norris Williams again, founder of InformationRiches.com, where we teach speakers, authors, and coaches, and other thought leaders how to make money than they ever thought possible. And the number one way you make more money than you ever thought possible is for you to become the person you never thought possible. I'll say that again. The way you make more money than you ever thought possible is to become the person that you never thought possible. So today I got a little tutorial for you. I'm going to come in and throw some content out here. See if you guys liked it, but this isn't original. This isn't something that I came up with, but when I saw it, it was absolutely profound, because all of us have some sort of fear that's stopping us from taking life to that next level. All of us, every single one of us have some sort of fear. So I saw, maybe it was Robert Allen, or maybe it was some speaker that I saw do the acronym FEARS. And as he ran down the list, I'm like, every single one of those makes sense. Because if you're watching me, you're a speaker, author, coach, or you're an entrepreneur of some type. You may be a real estate investor, have friends over that way. You may be a network marketer. You may be someone who's trying to jump over the hurdle of actually starting your business and building wealth for your family, but something stops you. And even if the something doesn't stop you, you go ahead and start. But after you start, you stop again, or you delay. And then you turn around, you look at the people at the top and wish you were at the top. But those people face their fears, but it doesn't mean their fears went away. They just continually face them. Whereas most of us will just stop or hesitate or look or complain or condemn or criticize. That's what most of us do. That's what social media is. There's so many critics on social media, and there are so few people that are really doing stuff. So I just wanted to share this acronym with you today that learned and helped me out a lot. And the acronym is FEARS, just like F.E.A.R.S. is FEARS. And each one of them talks about an individual fear. Now you may have all of these, you may have two of these, you may have one of these. But somebody can address each one of these in their own life and how they need to overcome it. So the first one, the F, is fear of, am I writing right? Fear of failure. A lot of us have the fear of failure. What does fear of failure mean? What is failure? So you go into something and you have a preconceived notion of what success is supposed to be. And you can only go by what somebody else has done. So that ends up being comparison. You're comparing yourself before you even try. You're comparing yourself prematurely. Before you even try, you'll say, okay, if I don't reach this mark, then that's not successful. I'm afraid that if I don't reach this mark, how will I feel about myself? How will other people look at me? How will they think about me? How will they judge me? How will my wife look at me? How will my children think of their father? Nobody wants to be a failure to their family. So you know what? Better yet, that I not even try to begin with. So a lot of us have the fear of failure. Other ones have fear of, right through this. The E is fear of embarrassment. Now let's just use an example. What if I go out here, let's say I want to be a house flipper. Let's say I go out here and I try to flip a house and I lose my behind on it. I lose everything. I over budget the house, overpay for the house. Number one, I overpaid for the house. Then I went over the budget, and now I'm on my butt and I look stupid. A lot of us are afraid of looking stupid because we went out and we jumped over the fear of failure. Then we jumped in the problem, and then we decided, oh man, I lost everything. What are they going to say about me now? How are they going to think about me now? What about those people who are going to say, I told you so, I told you so? Why are we so afraid of those people who say, I told you so? Because most of those people who say, I told you so, never tried a damn thing in their lives, but we're so afraid of what they're going to say. So that's the E. The second one is abandonment. Abandonment. That's one of those where you're afraid to be the odd person out. You're afraid to be, oh, that weird guy over there. Oh, that nerd over there. Oh, that guy, he has different ideas. So there must be something about him that makes us want to stay away from him. So we look around because as humans, we're tribal people too. We run in packs just like animals. We call our packs families, friends, neighbors, co-workers. You don't want to be the odd man out. Everybody's afraid to be what they call stick out like a sore thumb. Nobody wants to be the person who goes first. Nobody wants to be the person that is jeered at by the group on the outside of the group. So we have this internal fear of not fitting into the tribe. We have this internal fear of not fitting into the pack. Be the one who's ostracized. Or like back in the day when you did something bad, they would exile you. So they would curse your name and send you away from the group of people because we feel safe in packs. Because it's a primordial instinct to feel safe in packs because it keeps you away from predators. So we have this ingrained fear of abandonment. We want the love, we want the affection, we want the appreciation. And a lot of times in order to be accepted, you have to be average. In order to be accepted, a lot of times you have to be average. Now I know that sounds absolutely stupid, but we do it anyway. I'm guilty of the same thing. So the A is abandonment. The R is fear of, this is a big one. I'm going to underline that one. Fear of rejection. So many of us have fear of rejection. And it kind of goes back to abandonment also, but it's a lot more severe. We're so afraid of what the other person or persons might say out of this fear of rejection, but we never think about it. If they reject us, so what? What does that really mean? That doesn't mean they're right and I'm wrong, or I'm wrong and they're right. It doesn't mean anything. It just means they don't agree. It just means they don't believe. It just means they don't see the light. What I like about fear of rejection is when they did a poll that surveyed Henry Ford and asked him how did he come up with the idea of the car, and they're like, why didn't you take a poll? Why didn't you see what everybody wanted? He said, if I would have asked the general public what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. So he said they wanted faster horses, so I couldn't have looked to them because we still been in the same place as we are now. So many of us are afraid of rejection, but what is the end result of rejection really? Did they do something physically harmful to you? Did they kick you out of the family? Did they kick you out of the Boys and Girls Club? Did they kick you out of the clique? What's the worst thing that could happen of being rejected? You got your feelings hurt. And the only reason you got your feelings hurt is because you let it hurt your feelings. Because you were going with who you were authentically. You had made your mind up. You had decided this is something I want to do. This is something I want to explore. This is something I believe in. Think about it. I know everybody on here is not religious or whatever, but think about how many times Jesus got rejected. Yet years and years and years later, he's massively accepted. So what if Jesus would have went home after the first rejection and said, oh, I can't do it anymore. Those people rejected me. There must be something wrong with me. You couldn't do that. So if he'd have rejected, where would millions and millions of people be now if Jesus would have said, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to the house. These people rejected me. How big is that compared to the small rejection you're thinking about? You won't even try. You know you want to start a side business. You know you want to be an influencer or an investor or a business owner. You know you want to do it. And you're afraid of somebody telling you no. You are petrified of somebody telling you no. How infantile is that in the grand scheme of things? How infantile is that? Next one, and the last one. A lot of us are afraid of success. Now, this is the craziest one to me because I don't know anybody who doesn't want success on some level. What happens is we're afraid of people saying, look at him, he changed. Look at him, he makes all that money. Now he thinks now she thinks he's whatever. It goes back to most of these other fears. Have you noticed that most of these fears are based on what other people think and how other people look at you and how other people judge you? You notice how none of these really come from within you? None of them. And with fear of success, we're worried about people being mad about us doing well. We're concerned about other people condemning us for living out our true potential. We really shouldn't worry about that because you know they're coming. I mean, if you look at social media, it doesn't matter if you're feeding homeless people. It doesn't matter if you're saving orphans. It doesn't matter that you could be doing the greatest deed in the world. You know what? Somebody is going to be upset and have something negative to say about you doing well. Why do we concern ourselves with people being mad about our success? It goes back to looking at these. A lot of this is we're afraid of what other people might think, say, or do. We're afraid of what other people might think, say, or do. I guarantee you, everybody watching this has some sort of dream. Everybody watching this has some sort of motivation, something they want to do bigger than where they are. Everybody wants to grow from, you're here right now. Everybody watching this wants to grow to at least here. Everybody does. I don't care who you are. I know if you follow me, I know you want to get here and even here. But first we want to get from here to here. The only thing stopping you from getting here to here one of these 5, or all of them. It could be one, it could be all 5. But fear is the only thing stopping you. If you're in your right mind, you're physically good, your family's good and everything, the only thing stopping you could be one of these. That's it. So you need to figure out a way to overcome. Let's not even do overcome first. First, be honest with yourself that you are afraid. A lot of us won't admit that we're afraid. We'll make up, oh, I got to work so much, I got a job, I got responsibility. You're just massaging the fact that you're afraid to admit that you're afraid. You're even afraid to admit that you're afraid. You're scared of being scared. I got to laugh at myself on them. You're scared of being scared. How crazy is that? So what I want you to do is I want you to go to the comments below, and I want you to type in, today is the last day. Today is the last day you'll be afraid to actually go for your dreams, your hopes, your ambitions. Type in right now, today is the last day. If you like this comment, if you like this content I just made, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I got a lot more coming. 2022 is going to be a great year going forward, but make sure you make the declaration today. Today will be the last day. This is Norris Williams once again, founder of InformationRiches.com. I'll see you on the other side. Have a great day.